India has hit Pakistan with strong measures as it began its response to the gruesome terror attack in Pahalgam that killed 26 civilians. The Indus River Treaty has been suspended. The Cabinet Committee on Security decided to act after the cross-border link of the attack was brought out. India's diplomatic crackdown involves a series of measures. India has put the Indus Water Treaty on hold. It has also shut the Atari checkpost for all cross-border movement. New Delhi has suspended the SAARC visa travel privileges for Pakistani nationals. All Pakistani citizens currently in India under the SAARC framework have been given 48 hours to leave the country. Moreover, India has tightened the diplomatic channels. It has expelled all Pakistani military advisors posted in its high commissions in India. The overall strength of respective high commissions will be brought down to 30. One security personnel lost his life in an encounter that erupted between security forces and terrorists in the Dudu Basantgarh area of Udampur district of Jammu and Kashmir. The encounter in Udampur has come just 2 days after a deadly terror attack in Pahalgam that left 26 tourists dead. White Knight Corps of the Indian Army acted on specific intelligence on terrorist movement in Udampur area and launched a joint operation. Following reports of Kashmiri students being harassed in several states outside Jammu and Kashmir, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has said that he is in touch with his counterparts in these states. In a post on X, Omar Abdullah said that the J&K government is in touch with the governments of the states where these reports are originating from. Former Chief Minister and People's Democratic Party President Mahbooba Mufti has said that she also spoke with the Home Minister requesting him to intervene in the wake of certain elements openly threatening Kashmiri students and traders. Former Pentagon official Michael Rubin has slammed Pakistan following the deadly terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam that killed 26. In a statement, he said that it is India's duty to do Pakistan and ISI what Israel did to Hamas. Drawing a comparison on the 7th of October 2023 Hamas attack on Israel, Rubin said that both attacks targeted peaceful civilians, liberal Jews in Israel and middle-class Hindus in India. He further added that the US should formally designate Pakistan as a terrorist state and its Army Chief Asif Munir as a designated terrorist. Rubin went on to say that Pakistan Army Chief Asif Munir is Osama bin Laden of modern day. At least 9 people have been killed and over 60 injured in a missile attack on Kyiv. The city mayor in a post on Telegram said that the Ukrainian capital is being targeted by Russian missiles. Damage has been reported in at least 2 districts and residents have been called on to take shelter. Flights of drones and loud explosions could be heard across the capital. Over a dozen residents gathered after the air alert started. In Ukraine's east, the city of Kharkiv was hit by 7 missiles. Furthermore, US President Donald Trump lashed out at Zelensky, blaming the Ukrainian president's refusal to accept Russian occupation of Crimea for failure to end the war. Trump said a deal was very close and effectively closed with Moscow, but Zelensky was proving harder to negotiate with. Israeli settlers have renewed attacks in the occupied West Bank. Palestinian residents say Israelis attacked infrastructure and stole livestock in the West Bank. Damaged structures and smoke could be seen in the village of Sinjil, which residents said were the result of a second attack in 2 days by settlers. Israeli soldiers dispersed Palestinians in Sinjil after locals accused settlers of targeting properties in villages, and according to the Sinjil mayor, a number of homes were burnt by the settlers. And in the north of occupied West Bank, Israeli forces have set up barriers at several entrances of the Jenin camp. No barriers could have any impact on us as long as we believe in God and the homeland, said one Palestinian woman as she was reacting to the military operations. Iran's foreign minister has condemned new US sanctions targeting its oil network, calling the move a sign of Washington's hostile approach. This ahead of a third round of nuclear talks. In a statement, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Bakai said Washington's policy of imposing sanctions on the Iranian people was a clear contradiction with the US demand for dialogue and negotiation, and indicates America's lack of goodwill and seriousness in this regard. On Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Treasury imposed sanctions on an Iranian shipping network and an individual named Asadullah Imamjomeh, who was, Washington says, the network's owner. Thousands of Turkish opposition supporters marched to the mausoleum of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder of the Turkish Republic, in defiance of an official ban on gatherings on a symbolic day for the Republic. A month after the arrest of Istanbul's Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's biggest political rival, the head of the main opposition CHP party, called the march from Turkey's first parliament building to the mausoleum of Atatürk. Despite the ban, thousands poured into the streets to celebrate the 105th anniversary of the establishment of the first Turkish parliament and to protest against the perceived democratic backsliding in Turkey, especially after the arrest of İmamoğlu. The DR Congo government and the M23 rebel group have agreed to halt fighting in the east of the country while they work towards a permanent truce. The two warring sides issued a landmark joint statement pledging to an immediate cessation of hostilities until talks reach their conclusion. This as the conflict has seen M23 seize key cities in the eastern region. The surprise truce announcement follows talks mediated by Qatar. More than 6 ceasefires have been agreed and then broken since 2021. Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has been driven by conflict for 3 decades. Suspected jihadist insurgents killed at least 54 troops in an attack last week. This according to the government. Government spokesperson updated the toll in a press briefing. The attack took place on the 17th of April in the W National Park in northern Benin, close to the frontiers with Burkina Faso and Niger. Authorities had previously said 8 soldiers were killed. The attack was claimed by the Group for the Support of Islam and Muslims, GSIM, which is affiliated with Al-Qaeda. A wildfire is raging through the U.S. state of New Jersey, scorching thousands of acres and threatening hundreds of structures. About 3,000 residents have been evacuated. 25,000 people have been left without power. The sprawling wildfire is burning in New Jersey's Pinelands near Atlantic Ocean beach towns. According to officials, it could become the largest in the state in 20 years, having already consumed about 11,500 acres. New Jersey officials have said that 40% of the forest fires have been contained as of 4 p.m. local time on Wednesday. The fire service said that numerous fire and rescue personnel had been deployed along with the fire engines, bulldozers and ground crew. The cause is underway. The dollar took a breather today following a sharp bounce after President Donald Trump backed away from threats to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and his administration opened the door to a softer stance on China tariffs. It caught an extra boost when Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the U.S. did not have a specific currency target in mind. Ahead of talks with his Japanese counterpart, Bessent also said that the current de facto embargo on U.S.-China trade was unsustainable, while cautioning that the U.S. would not move first in lowering its lives and its levies of more than 100% on Chinese goods. The dollar has recovered from a 3.5-year low of 1.15 per euro, encountered little selling in Asian morning trade on steady around $1.13. Oil prices ticked up after falling nearly 2% in the previous session, with his investors weighing a potential OPEC Plus output increase against conflicting tariff signals from the White House in the ongoing US-Iran nuclear talks. Prices fell 2% in the previous trading session after Reuters reported that several OPEC Plus members will suggest the group accelerates oil output increases for a second month in June. There had previously been disputes among the members over compliance. Signs that US and China could be moving closer to the trade talks gave prices some support. The Wall Street Journal reported that the White House would be willing to lower its tariffs on China to as low as 50% in order to open up negotiations. Boeing confirmed that Chinese customers were refusing delivery of new planes built for them due to tariffs. A third Boeing jet started returning to the US on Thursday. Boeing said China was the only country where Boeing was facing this issue, and plane maker would redirect new jet supply to other customers eager for earlier deliveries due to a global shortage of new commercial planes. Two 737 MAX 8s, which had been ferried to China in March for delivery to Xiamen Airlines, returned to Boeing's production hub in Seattle in the past week. The Chinese government has not commented on why the planes were being returned. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.